One day, two kids named Kellan and Cece were still asleep. Now, as they were sleeping, they could hear some rumblings that were starting to wake them up. As they opened their eyes, all of a sudden, Kellan saw something right in front of him. It was purple and it was fuzzy. "Ah!" he said. "Oh yes, you're finally awake," said the purple fuzzy creature. Who are you?" said Kellan. "My name is the Pim Pim and I'm very excited that you have finally woken up." "What's he doing in your room?" said Cece. Well, it is very important because last night I was trying to sleep and I couldn't sleep, and so I had an idea, and then I thought my idea would be a lot more fun if I had more people to share it with, so I put a lot of it into action, and then I thought I better go find somebody who could come play with me and help make my idea so much more fun. "What's your idea?" said Cece. "Well, I think it would be better to show you rather than tell you. Are you ready to go?" No, we're still in our pajamas." "Oh, don't worry, you can wear your pajamas, it will be fun." Just then, their mum poked her head into the room. "What is all this racket?" "Oh, hello," she said. "Oh, hello," said Pim Pim. I need to borrow your kids for a minute. I have a very fun idea that I would like them to come play." Okay, she said. "Hooray," said Pim Pim. "Hooray," said the kids. So, Pim Pim and the kids quickly went to race out the door. "Oh, you might need some shoes on first, or else your feet might get freezy cold." Okay, they said. So, each of the kids popped on a pair of shoes and stayed in their pajamas, and then followed Pim Pim out the door and down the street. As they were running down the street, Pim Pim was dancing and singing and bouncing from side to side. Why are you so excited?" said Kellan. "Well, it is the most fun idea that I have had in a long time." "What is it?" said Cece. "I cannot tell you," said Pim Pim. "I need to show you." "Keep coming, keep running, let's go," said Pim Pim as he continued to run and dance and skip and sing. By the time the kids came round a few more corners, they came to a funny-looking house. It was still very early in the morning. "Whose house is this?" said Cece. "Well, this is the house of my friend Teddy Winkle, and we're going to sneak inside and have a little bit of fun." "What do you mean, have a little bit of fun?" said Kellan. "I told you, I cannot tell you, so let's go," said Pim Pim, as he cartwheeled towards the front door. "Okay, it is time to be very, very quiet," he said. "How come?" "'Cause we need to sneak in without Pim Pim noticing." "Oh," said the kids. Okay. So, they very, very quietly snuck through the front door. When they got inside, Pim Pim guided them around a few corners, and then they went into some kind of strange little hatch. "Where are we going, Pim Pim?" said Kellan. "Just wait, you will see," said Pim Pim. And as they went through the hatch, it opened up into some kind of strange big control room. "What is this?" said Cece. "This is the area that controls Teddy Winkle's house." "Controls his house?" said Kellan. "You can't control a house." "Well, you can when you've stayed up all night making modifications to every single part of the entire house and rigging it up to a very funny control panel so that we can have some very funny fun. I hope that Teddy Winkle wakes up soon. Actually, why don't we wake him up?" said Pim Pim. "What?" said the kids. "How are we going to wake him up?" "Okay, let me see." Pim Pim looked at the giant control panel in front of him. "I think that we would do it with this button here. Who would like to press it?" I can," said Kellan. "Hooray," said Pim Pim. So, Kellan pressed the button that Pim Pim was talking about, and when he did, a giant siren started going off in Teddy Winkle's bedroom. "Ah!" he said as he jumped out of bed. What's going on?" Teddy Winkle started running around his bedroom as the siren continued to go. "What is going on?" said Teddy Winkle. As he was running around his bedroom, Pim Pim began to laugh. "Okay, now Cece, it is your turn. You press this button here." Pim Pim pointed to a different button. Okay, said Cece. And as Cece pressed the next button, all of a sudden, all of Teddy Winkle's wardrobes popped open. And then clothes started flying out everywhere. "Whoa, what's going on?" said Teddy Winkle. The clothes started flying around his room. The kids were giggling as they watched Teddy Winkle diving under things and trying to hide as t-shirts and pants and all kinds of shoes and jumpers and hats started flying directly at him. "What is going on?" yelled Teddy Winkle. He was starting to get very, very confused. "Okay, I think we should give him a little bit of normal until we do more of the silliness. Is that a good idea?" Okay, said the kids. So, Pim Pim pressed one more button and the siren stopped and the clothes all dropped to the floor. Teddy Winkle started to look around his bedroom. "What is going on?" he said. "That was very strange. Oh, I'm going to have to clean this up later, but
I'm hungry. I'm gonna go eat some breakfast.
Pim Pim and the kids were sitting in the control room watching on all the little screens, so Teddy Winkle started to head out of his bedroom and towards the kitchen.
Okay, said Pim Pim, I think it is time for the next part of my plan.
How much of this house have you rigged up to be controllable?
I think pretty much 150,000% of it.
What? Said the kids.
I think that is how you say pretty much all of it.
What should we do next? Said Cece.
Well, if he wants breakfast, I think we should give him some breakfast.
Okay, said the kids. As Teddy Winkle started to walk into the kitchen, Pim Pim pointed towards one of the buttons.
Okay, this is a bit of a tricky one. So when I press this button, said Pim Pim, some control sticks will point up there and over there, and so you kids need to grab a control stick each.
Then what do we do? Said Cece.
You will see, said Pim Pim.
So, Pim Pim held his position and waited. Once Teddy Winkle got close to the pantry, he pressed the button.
Okay, now,
yelled Pim Pim. The two controllers popped up for the kids, and they both grabbed hold of him. What do we do? They looked at the screen, and they could see two kind of blasters that had popped up at either side of the kitchen. What are those blasters?
They are porridge guns, said Pim Pim.
Porridge guns, said Cece. What are they for?
Giving Teddy Winkle his porridgey breakfast. Okay, 3, 2, 1, fire, yelled Pim Pim.
The kids pressed the button on the top of their controller, and when they started to press it, porridge started blasting out the end of the porridge blasters. Wow, they said. Ah, said Teddy Winkle, as porridge started squirting across his whole kitchen. Wow, what is going on? He tried to dive behind the counter, and then the kids kept blasting porridge everywhere. It was flying around the entire kitchen, going absolutely all over everything in the kitchen. This is fun, said Kellan. Yes, said Cece, this is really fun.
Yes, but you can't just have porridge for breakfast. I think it is toast time.
Toast time, said the kids. What are you going to do with the toast?
Oh, no, not for Teddy Winkle. I would like some toast, because I am hungry.
Just then, some toast popped up next to the kids.
Here you go, you can have some too.
Okay, said the kids. So they sat and ate toast as they watched Teddy Winkle still trying to hide behind the counter.
What do we do next, said Kellan. Oh, yes, well, seeing we have given Teddy Winkle some porridge, I think he needs some juice.
Some juice, said the kids.
Yes, okay, it is juice time. Okay, press this button over here.
Okay, said Kellan. So he pressed the button over on the side where Pim Pim was talking. As he did, something very strange started to happen. Out of the oven in the kitchen started to pour.
What is that?
Said Teddy Winkle.
That's juice. Uh-oh.
It started to go everywhere. It started to fill up the entire kitchen. And when I say fill up, I mean,
I've got a juice swimming pool in my kitchen, said Teddy Winkle. That's actually kind of fun.
He started swimming around his kitchen.
La-da-dee, la-da-da, la-da-da-da-da-da.
As he was swimming around through the juice, he was actually starting to have a lot of fun.
I don't know what's going on with my house this morning, but it's actually kind of funny, but I didn't actually get to eat any of that porridge.
Oh, said Kellan to Pim Pim. I think he's still hungry.
Okay, I guess we can give him some more porridge. Hang on.
Pim Pim grabbed a microphone from the control room and started to talk.
Hello to the person that is inside this house.
Pim Pim, is that you?
No Pim Pim here.
I know that voice anywhere, said Teddy Winkle. What have you done to my house?
Never mind. That is not important. But if you are hungry, I suggest that you open your mouth right now.
What? Said Teddy Winkle.
I said now. 3, 2, 1, go!
Teddy Winkle quickly opened his mouth, and Kellan and Cece aimed the porridge blasters straight towards him. Teddy Winkle got a few mouthfuls of porridge.
That was yum! And this juice is fun to play in. Do you guys want to come play too?
The kids looked at Pim Pim.
Okay, let's go play!
So the kids and Pim Pim left the control room that was hidden in the corner of Teddy Winkle's house and went out towards the kitchen. As they walked towards it, Pim Pim said,
okay, we need to take the upper hatch to get into the kitchen.
The upper hatch? I don't see an upper hatch, said Kellan.
Yeah, me either, said Cece. There's not one yet, but we will make it.
Pim Pim blasted a hole into the roof and then popped another hole on the other side of the wall.
Pim Pim, said Teddy Winkle. Don't worry, we will fix it later.
The kids climbed up and they watched as Pim Pim jumped from the roof and did a giant cannonball into all the juice inside the kitchen.
That was a good one, said Teddy Winkle.
Here I come, said Kellan. He jumped through the hole as well, and so did Cece. And then they all started to swim around the kitchen. It was very, very fun.
Oh, hi guys, said Teddy Winkle. What are your names?
I'm Cece and I'm Kellan, said the kids.
Oh, hi, I'm Teddy Winkle. Nice to meet you. Was that you shooting me with porridge?
Maybe, said Kellan.
Yes, definitely. It was Kellan because it was not me at all, said Pim Pim. Pim Pim, you are going to be in big trouble for what you did to my house. I promise that I will fix it. Yeah, okay. Well, I guess it was fun. Did you add anything else that might be a bit of fun?
Oh, yes. There's one more thing that I did.
What is it?
It only happens when you press this big button right here.
Okay,
said Teddy Winkle, looking at the remote control that Pim Pim was now holding.
I'm not sure that pressing that button is going to be a good idea.
Me either, said Pim Pim, but that is how all exciting adventures start. Oh dear, said the kids. Okay, who wants to press it?
Not me,
said Teddy Winkle. I will, said Kellan, not entirely sure that he did actually want to press the button, but he decided he would anyway.
Here you go,
said Pim Pim as he threw the remote across to Kellan. Kellan caught it, looked at the big button, and pressed it.
What are those noises?
said Teddy Winkle. It's activating party mode! Just then, lights started bursting out of the ceiling, flashing smoke machines, and everything started to pour in. Then, the whole roof of the house lifted off, and they could see outside. Then, a giant speaker popped up, and an emergency siren started to go off.
Emergency! Emergency! Party time! Party time! Get to Teddy Winkle's house! Get to Teddy Winkle's house!
said the voice over the speaker.
What?
said Teddy Winkle. Just then, people started coming from everywhere to Teddy Winkle's house.
It's a kitchen pool party,
said Pim Pim. And the lights started to play, and the music started to sound, and the people started to come from every direction. They jumped into the juice swimming pool in Teddy Winkle's kitchen, and they all had the most fun kitchen juice pool party that anybody had ever seen. Well, it was maybe the only kitchen juice pool party that anybody had ever seen. The kids laughed and had the best time ever. Pim Pim had actually designed more things that were involved, so floating things came out from different directions. More food started coming out so that everybody had something to eat, and they got to play all kinds of games and have the best time ever.
Okay, said Pim Pim, it is best that we get going before Teddy Winkle makes me clean up his entire house. You are going to clean up my entire house, said Teddy Winkle. Oh yes, I forgot about that. Okay, well me and Teddy Winkle better get to work cleaning up. You kids better go home.
Okay, said the kids.
Okay, you got to go home the fast way though.
What's the fast way, said the kids. Pim Pim pressed one more button on his remote, and when he did, a big slingshot popped up out of Teddy Winkle's roof.
Okay, climb in, said Pim Pim.
So the kids climbed into the slingshot, and then Pim Pim pulled it backwards.
I'm pretty sure your house is this way. Goodbye! Pew!
And the kids got flung through the air. They both landed on a mattress out the front of their house. When they did, their mum opened the front door. Kids, where did you come from? And why are you covered in... Is that juice? Well, said Kellan, I don't think you'd believe us, even if we told you. And that is the end of the story.
This episode is brought to you by Pim Pim House Modifications. If you have a boring house that only does the boring things like giving you bedrooms and kitchens and normal things to be able to live in without having all the extra fun of a Pim Pim chaos, then you should call me, Pim Pim, and I will modify your entire house with all kinds of buttons that nobody knows what they does until you press them, and then your whole house can turn into a pool party with juice and all kinds of things. We hope you have been enjoying Silly Stories for Kids. Head over to sillystoriesforkids.com to find out more about the podcast, and make sure you go listen to the music because my song is the best. I do one called One Times Pim Pim and everything about brushing your teeth because you need to brush your teeth or else you will end up with only 3 teeth like me. Okay, well we hope you have a good day. This has been me, the Pim Pim.
And me, Sam. We'll see you soon.